Hello everyone, it's Leon here from GamesRadar, and I am joined by Jen Simpkins, staff writer for Official PlayStation Magazine.
Hello.
And we have both played No Man's Sky, and I say played, they gave us both about half an hour, didn't they?
They did indeed. I was a bit cheeky and pushed it a little bit further.
But it's still, for a game that big, it felt like, there's loads of new stuff to talk about, but I felt like I didn't really get a feel for what it could do, because it was just enough time to basically wander around a few pink space dinosaurs and maybe fly to another planet. But this thing is supposed to have like 18 quintillion planets or something like that.
Yes.
But we have seen, so there's new features.
Yes, there are. There
So
are plenty of new features.
New NPCs and alien races. And you want to explain a little bit sort of about how that works?
Yeah, so that was really interesting to me when I sort of came across this sort of television-headed Korvax scientist. And I was like, who's this? And I kind of turned to Sean Murray, who's lead developer. I was like, hang on, you said that there would definitively be no NPCs. And he was like, well, we didn't want to overpromise. So yeah, anyway, so in the there are buildings on many of the planets, obviously depending on how they procedurally generate.
Yeah.
And they're occupied by NPCs of several different races, I think, in the game. So I met this kind of robot dude who was sort of aligned with like explorer races, so it meant he was a little bit more cerebral. And he enjoyed me because I wasn't really shooting animals, so he was like, you're an interesting person, you're interested in gathering data, not just like shooting everything.
Yeah, so they have different sort of we've only seen this Korvax Sky, but they say some will be more like war, some will like trading, some will be more sort of like technology and
so depending on how you play the game, and there are several ways to play the game, so you can be mostly kind of an explorer just focusing on gathering data, or you can be a trader, a fighter, and you want to kind of get involved with like factions and wars, and the NPCs will actually react differently to you and offer you sort of different interaction options depending on how their sort of philosophy aligns with yours, I suppose.
And this is something I'd like to see. I'd like to get longer sort of hands-on time with it to see how that kind of pans out, because at one point I got attacked. So you see these sort of incredible monsters, like this big kind of giant gorilla thing with like fish fins on its arms. There was like a pink dinosaur. There was like a blue bird troll thing. But at one point I got attacked by kind of like it was just like a mushroom, like it was just hopping around on this 1 foot.
Wow.
But it started attacking me, so I shot back, and then the sentinels. So all the planets have sentinels to protect the planet, so they started attacking me, and I was kind of like, well, I don't know how to deal with this. Do I start attacking them because then it escalates? And in the end, I ran away.
Yeah.
But then also I got into another fight somewhere else, and so I don't know how well that works yet. Like whether it takes a long time. Do you get a star rating?
You do. It's like a wanted level, right?
Yeah.
Like in GTA.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. Because there's ways to kind of get into buildings where you shouldn't really be, but there might be kind of like interesting loot in there that you need. So obviously these sentinels are around to sort of protect that. So if you're trying to kind of get into the building by like blasting it open with your multi-tool, kind of your like laser gun, you're going to get a wanted level. But I'm pretty sure there are sort of different kind of sneakier ways to get into the building, which kind of the devs were sort of hinting at.
Yeah.
So I think there are ways to really kind of avoid stuff like that, and probably myriad opportunities to play it in different ways so that you don't have to antagonize things and fight back if you don't want to.
And there's a huge upgrade system as well. You mentioned a multi-tool. So, I mean, I think at one point I upgraded it with a couple of things. I had to upgrade part of my ship because to get a jump drive to get far between the planets a lot faster. So you're collecting all these minerals. Some of them are real, so it's like carbon and silicon. Borate, I think was another. Some of them are kind of magical, but you collect all this stuff and you can slot in all these different tool upgrades, ability upgrades. There's different planets have different things, like there'll be caustic ones, toxic ones, cold ones, so you need to have the right shield.
Exactly. So you've got a shield level, right? Yeah. So I mean, I started on a kind of a really cold planet. It was like minus 200 degrees. So I was kind of getting quite hypothermic quite quickly. And Sean was like, okay, you're going to need to kind of look around for some resources quickly to get some silicon to charge your shield. Yeah. So yeah, I think kind of there's a crafting system as well, so it'll be about like resource management as well, and like a lot about survival.
And it's quite, I mean, it's an open end goal, isn't it? Because the only thing they've kind of discussed is the idea of getting to the center of the universe, and they've not really talked about what that means. There's that weird diamond, isn't there? They keep using all the art.
Yeah,
I wonder
that's the atlas. So that's where all your information that you collect on animals and plants kind of goes to. But yeah, so you've got this goal basically of getting to the center of the universe, which is what upgrading your multi-tool and kind of learning to survive on planets is all about, so that you can be in the best position possible to perhaps make your way to the center of the universe if you want to.
And that's part of the kind of the gear gating, isn't it? The closer you get to the universe, the tougher it gets. So
yeah, I think from what I chatted to them about, there's lots of little kind of code-based hints that happened when you're getting to the center of the universe, where the universe, procedurally generated as it is creating patterns to start to tell you, like, okay, perhaps you're getting closer to discovering something quite big about this universe here. So yeah, so that's kind of your goal. But talking to me, the developers were like, we'd be equally happy if people were just upgrading their stuff to be able to survive for longer and just keep going on and using planets as stepping stones to find that beautiful paradise that we've seen in so many of the pictures.
Okay, so that's No Man's Sky, which is out in June. If you'd like more information, there is some on the site at GamesRadar.com, and the issue of official PlayStation Magazine with No Man's Sky on the cover will be out on Tuesday, the 8th of March. Don't forget, if you like this video, to like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions.